let's get started with our jingle. Welcome to ABC Yoga. I'm Amy. Our jingle on a different note was a little higher.
Yes, the key.
Different key.
Yeah, getting ready.
And we may see an occasional cat. So let's get started on our backs. Nice. Squeeze those knees into your chest. Give yourself a good morning hug. And then drawing your forehead towards your knees. Externally rotate your shoulders so you free up your head and neck space. Find that breath. And on an exhale, allow the head and shoulders to come to the floor. You'll extend the left leg. Keep hold of that right knee. We'll find some ankle twists in one direction. Good morning. And we'll change direction with that ankle twist. And take the knee across the body, extend that right arm, eyes soft or closed, breathe into that lower back. Take one more inhalation. Exhale it out. And you'll roll back on the body, extend that right leg. Pause for a moment here, let everything relax. And on that next inhalation, you hug the left knee in. Squeeze that knee in towards your chest. Find some ankle twists in one direction. Please change direction. Face is soft, breath is steady. Now drawing the knee across the body, extend the left arm. Again, those eyes can be soft, maybe closed. As we come into our body, breath by breath, send that breath to the lower back area. And coming back onto our backs, bend both knees. Let's find that happy baby. So reach for the inner arches, flex the feet. Now we draw our hands in the arches of our feet, press your feet against the hands so you feel that traction. Relax the face, and just some gentle rocking here, back and forward, side to side, whatever feels good. And finding that stillness again. Keep that left knee bent. You'll just extend that right leg to the best of, till you find that resistance. So maybe it's a very little stretch or letting go of that arch and just reach through that heel. Nice, and you'll bend that right knee and you'll extend the other side. So reaching through that left heel, you can keep that grip on the arch of the foot, or maybe just extend through the heel. You'll keep that left leg where it is. Now stretch out the right for an inner groin stretch. Relax your face. Then bending those knees, squeeze those knees towards one another, and you'll just drop the knees to the left side of the mat. And taking that right hand to the left, so you're curled up on that left side of the body. And we'll find our way onto our hands and knees. So spread those fingers wide. Let's just bump those hips side to side. Rooting the tops of the feet to the earth. So we'll take the tops of our feet, hug them to the mat, had a brain freeze there for a moment, and just hover those knees off the mat. Just a couple of inches. Activating that core, navel in and up towards the spine. We'll just roll over our toes into a quick downward dog. Shake out that head. Find your way to high plank, and then just drop those knees to the earth again. So we're going to repeat that a couple of times. So hands are directly underneath your shoulders, tops of the feet root. Hover those knees a couple of inches off the floor. Navel in and up towards our spine. You're looking straight ahead. Then we just roll over the toes into our downward dog. Heels to the floor, maybe bend those knees. So find that inhale to high plank. We're still activating the core, and then just drop those knees again. So let's do that 2 more times. Warming up the body, tops of the feet root. We hover those knees. Beautiful. Looking straight ahead. Roll over the toes into your downward dog. Maybe pedal out your feet, warming up those calves. We'll take that 1 more time. So we inhale to high plank and just drop those knees. They're right below your hips. So 1 last time. Looking straight ahead, tops of the feet root. So opening up the tops of the feet, engaging that core, hovering those knees just a few inches. Roll over the toes into your downward dog. Beautiful. Maybe take a wider stance and alternate pedaling out those knees, activating those heels to the floor, moving that prana, that life energy. Shake out that head. And we'll take those big toes into a center plane. So they're touching in our downward dog. So the right leg lifts. We bend the knee. We stack that right hip on top of the left. And let's find those nice big knee circles. So we opened up the ankles. Now we're opening up our hips. Moving those knees around in space. So notice the attention of the weight on your hands. You're rooting through the forefinger and thumb. Let's change direction with those knee circles. Engaging those arms, warming up those shoulders. Take 1 last revolution, and we'll just lower that right leg down. Beautiful. Finding that downward dog again. Big toes touch. Now the left leg lifts. That left hip is on top of the right. That left knee is reaching up towards the sky, and we'll find those knee circles again. So maybe you go slower than normal.
What is normal?
What is normal? What's normal for you in this moment? And change direction. Finding that breath. Gorgeous. We'll lower that left leg down. And just draw those heels to the floor, maybe bend those knees. Keep your hands where they are. We'll walk our feet to the heel of our hands. And just slowly unwind that spine. Take your time. Come all the way up. Big breath in. Extend those arms up. We'll interlace our fingers. Reach the palms up towards the sky and give yourself hips distance with your feet. So we'll take a slight bend with our knees. We're going to make body circles here. So we're opening up that side waist. The palms come to the floor. Then inhale, reach up. And we'll go down again. So taking up a lot of space. Opening up the body. Let's take 1 more direction in this, 1 more loop in this direction. When your hands come all the way up towards the sky, we'll change direction. So slight bend in the knees. Opening up that side body, head is heavy, sipping that inhale on the way up. You exhale on the way down. Big breath in. Beautiful, we'll take 1 more rotation here. Ride that breath all the way up and just release the hands alongside the body and we'll come to the top of the mat. Samastitihi, hands at your heart center. Let's begin to flow. So releasing the arms alongside the body. Inhale, palms up towards the sky. Let's take a slight back bend. And then forward fold, Uttanasana. We find that halfway lift. Reach the right knee back. Hands outside that front foot. And just opening up that right hip flexor. Looking straight ahead. Beautiful. Then we'll draw those hips back, flex the left toes. That right shin is rooting. We take a bend in that left knee again. Tuck the right toes under. We'll step the right foot to the left. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Now reach the left knee back. So we find that deep bend in that right knee. Open up the collarbones. Feel that stretch on the left hip flexor. Our eye gaze is straight ahead. Beautiful. Now we draw the hips back, flex the right toes. Gorgeous. Take a deep bend in that right knee again. Hands outside the front foot and tuck the left toes under. Giant step forward, left foot to right. Halfway lift, forward fold, and ride that breath all the way up. Inhale. We'll take a slight back bend and swan dive forward. Activate that core. Take your time. We find that halfway lift. We'll step or jump those feet back. High plank. Now to our low plank. Baby cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Right leg lifts. Warrior one. Full breath in. And we'll take our hands to the floor, right leg back. High to low. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Soft eye gaze at the back of the mat. Left leg lifts. Warrior one. We find that foundation. Then ride that breath all the way up. Exhale the hands to the mat, that left leg back, your vinyasa. So maybe you try easy by just dropping the knees. You still get the benefits, building strength in the shoulders. We'll always meet in downward dog. So work with what is happening in your body right now. Taking the struggle out of your practice. And just appreciating this body, breath by breath. Take another full inhalation. Please let that go. Look forward, bend the knees, walk, jump, maybe fly to the top. We find that halfway lift. Forward fold, beautiful, and rise. Enjoy that breath all the way up, a slight back bend. Our heart is lifted, shake out that head. Then swan dive forward. Navel is activated. We find that halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back. High plank to low. Modify as you wish. Cobra or upward dog. Beautiful. Downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Our right leg lifts. We find our warrior one. Full inhale to our warrior two. Pause and breathe. Drop into the hips and chest towards the side of your mat. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. Squeeze those arm muscles. Let's lower our hips a little deeper, tracking that right knee over that right pinky toe. One more breath in. On an exhale, hands to the floor, right leg back, your vinyasa. So again, maybe you try easy. Take the struggle out of your practice. We're warming up the body, keeping it safe. Other side, left leg lifts. We find our warrior one. Full inhale. We open into our warrior two. So take a look at that left foot. Where is that left knee? Maybe you need to walk the left toe a little further. Find a little deeper opening in your hips. Our hips and chest are towards the side of our mats. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. Let's drop our hips a little deeper. Lift your heart. Is that right hand in the same plane as your left? Nice. One more inhale. It wasn't. Hands to the floor. Left leg back, your vinyasa. High to low. Cobra or up dog. Beautiful. Downward dog. Soft eye gaze. Shake out that head. Steady breathing. One more inhale. Please let that go. Bend those knees, find that hip crease. Step, maybe hop to the top. We find that halfway lift. Forward fold into our chair. So those toes can be touching. Maybe take a little wider stance. But working from the ground up, the feet are rooted, the toes are spread wide. Notice if your tail is hanging out, you want to tuck it under, engage that core, sit lower, squeeze those knees, and let's lift those arms a little higher. 2 more breaths. Squeeze those knees. Can you drop a little deeper? We'll take our hands through our heart center as we fold. Nice work. Halfway lift. With control, step or jump those feet back, high to low. Cobra or up dog. Beautiful, downward dog. Adding on, our right leg lifts. We find our warrior one. Full inhalation into our warrior two. Now we'll reverse here. And we'll take our hands to the floor. Your vinyasa, right leg back, high to low. Cobra or up dog. Downward dog. Our left leg lifts. Warrior one. Foundation to ride that breath all the way up. We open into our warrior two. Keep the body where it is and just lift that left hand up and over. We fan those ribs. Now take the hands to the floor. That left leg back, your vinyasa. High plank to low. Cobra or upward dog. Nice, downward dog. Soft eye gaze. Steady breathing. Back of the neck is lengthening. Take a slight bend in the knees. Lift those sits bones a little higher. Can you take those heels a little closer to the floor? Sip in one more full breath. We let it go. Look forward, bend those knees, step hop, or just walk to the top, halfway lift. Our forward fold, back into our chair. Find those lines of energy. Our tail tucks under. We lift those hands a little higher. Now take the heels off the floor. Squeeze those knees so you have those Barbie feet. Find that balance. Nice, now we'll take our hands and heels to the floor. Taking flight again. Inhale, lift those heels. A little more space here. Opening up those arches, energetically hug those knees in. Beautiful, heels to the floor, hands behind you. Two more, look straight ahead. We breathe in, we find that balance. So spread those toes. You have one more breath in. Beautiful, heels down, hands behind you. So nice, last time. Move with your breath, inhale. Open up those arches, strengthening the ankles, the feet. Beautiful, heels down, hands to the floor, and just forward fold. Crown of the head towards the floor, shake it out. We find that halfway lift. With control, step or jump those feet back. Nice work, high to low. Cobra or up dog, downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Our right leg lifts again. Warrior one, foundation to rise. As we blossom open, we reverse. Now we take the forearm on the thigh, left arm up and over. So moving between those postures from warrior two, we reverse, keep the lower body where it is, through warrior two, forearm on thigh, left arm up and over. Gorgeous, two more times. We open, reverse, back to two, forearm and left arm high. Last one, beautiful. Warrior two, fan those ribs wide. Warrior two, nice. Left arm up and over. So let's take that left hand on our left hip. Just bump those hips back. Take the hand on the hip and just find your way into triangle. So a little different way to go into this posture. Lift through that right kneecap. Let's feel that side stretch one more time. So the left hand up and over the left ear. Maybe gaze towards those right toes. Finding that breath. One more inhale. Complete the exhalation. We'll blossom open into warrior two. Nice, your vinyasa. Hands to the floor. high to low plank, cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Our left leg lifts. We find warrior one. Ride that breath up into our warrior two. So drop into your hips. So looking at my left knee, I can walk that left foot a little further. So we settle into those hips, open up those collarbones. Let's reverse the warrior here. That lower body stays exactly where it is. Back into warrior two. Now forearm on thigh, right arm up and over. Turn the pinky towards that floor. Beautiful. Moving between warrior two. We find that reverse. Warrior two. Nice. Right arm up and over. Two more. Moving with our breath. Reverse. Fan those ribs. Feels so good to move our bodies. Forearm on thigh, right arm up and over. Last time. We find our two. We reverse. Beautiful. Back into warrior two. Forearm on thigh, right arm up and over. Turn the pinky towards the floor. So we'll take that right hand on our right hip, straighten through that left leg, and that left hand can come on the shin, right arm up towards the sky. Lift through that left kneecap. Find that breath. Now we'll take the right arm up and over. Steady breathing. Take one more inhale. Complete the exhalation through warrior two. Nice, your vinyasa. Hands to the floor, left leg back. High to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Soft eye gaze. Shake out that head. Steady breathing. Walk those toes into that center plane. Now the right leg lifts. Squeeze the knee to the nose, round that back body. Make sure the shoulders are over the wrists. Maybe kiss that knee, then push the toes away. 3 more on this side. We're rounding that back body, then push through the toes. 2 more. We're breathing, squeezing, extending and lengthening. Last one on this side. Squeeze, look between your hands, find your crescent lunge. So we come all the way up. Nice, take those arms a little higher. Bring your prayer to your heart. We're all set for our warrior three. So we'll push off that back foot. Taking flight. Right toes are spread wide. Can you close that left hip point to the floor? And maybe extend those arms. Steady breathing. Now taking those hands to your heart one more time. We'll come up, take a bend in that left knee, extend the leg, and just twist to the right. Nice. We'll take the hands back towards the center into Virabhadrasana 3 again. So working on our balance, maybe extend those hands. Upward dog in the chest. We bring our prayer back to our heart. On an inhale, you lift your chest, bend that left knee again. We unhinge and twist to the right. One more time. So with control, we find our Virabhadrasana, our warrior three. Maybe extend those hands, level off those hips, building strength in that right leg. Beautiful, we bring our hands to our hearts, lift the chest, lift that left knee, unhinge and twist. Beautiful. And we'll just take a giant step back into our crescent lunge. Vinyasa, hands to the floor. Right leg back, high to low. Cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Other side, so those big toes touch. The left leg extends. Squeeze the knee to the nose. Shoulders over the wrists, round that back body, then push the toes away. So finding that core action here, we squeeze, we round, lengthen and extend. 2 more, breathe in, squeeze, exhale, extend. Last one, Inhale, the knee to the nose, round that back body, look right between your hands, step the left leg forward into our crescent lunge. So we come all the way up. So drop into those hips again. Can you lift those arms in line with your ears? So those floating ribs want to bow out, so draw them back in. Find that core. We bring our prayer to our hearts. We push off that back leg. So looking straight ahead into our Virabhadrasana 3. So maybe it's a couple of hops. I'm going to give myself a little extra room here. A slight bend in that left knee. Maybe extend those hands. Upward dog in the chest. On that inhalation, lift your heart. That right knee bends. We unhinge and twist to the right. Twist the other way.
Oh.
So you bring your prayer to your heart into Virabhadrasana 3 again. So the hips are level. Lift that back leg higher than you think you can. Gorgeous. Then we lift our heart, right knee high, and we twist to the right. Beautiful. One more time here. So working with our balance, move from stability. We find that warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. Maybe extend those hands. Look straight ahead. If you look down, gravity's going to pull you that way. So we lift our hearts, right knee up high, unhinge, twist, and we take that giant step back into that crescent lunge. Gorgeous. Vinyasa. Really nice work. That left leg back, high to low, cobra or upward dog, downward dog, soft eye gaze. Steady breathing. So we inhale to high plank. Just drop that right knee to the earth and find that kickstand. So you take that right foot behind you. Keep that right hand underneath the shoulder. So we're in our gate posture. A great stretch here. Outer edge of that left foot is rooting you. So we'll take this in stages. So we'll start with taking that left hand up and over. Rooting through that right hand and that right shin. Can you elevate that left leg? Now you know where we're going. Squeezing them in and lengthening. Beautiful. Move with your breath and extend. We've got 3 more. Last 2. Last one here. Maybe they connect. They extend. Now take that left foot back to the floor. We'll just come all the way up and just draw that left knee to the right and extend that right leg. So the outer edge of that right foot is rooting you, and you just lean over. That left hand comes underneath the shoulder. If that's challenging, use a brick, a book, maybe a cat, whatever's available. Right hand up towards the sky. And we'll take that right hand up and over. So right here we have such a beautiful stretch. Steady breathing. Now we'll activate. So taking that right leg off the floor, and we squeeze the elbow and knee and lengthen. Move with your breath. Extend on the exhale. 3 more. Taking your time, not rushing. We squeeze and lengthen. Beautiful. Last one. Elbow to knee. Lengthen. You'll take the hands to the floor. We can cycle through a vinyasa. High to low. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Into our first child's pose. 30 minutes in, our first child's hips to our heels, forehead to the floor or on top of a brick or a book. Take a full breath in. Just sigh it out. Ah. Feeling that breath in the body. Feel the support of the mat below you. Surrendering, letting go. Maybe lick those lips, clean your teeth with your tongue. And we'll slowly lift our heart, shift onto our hands and knees, tuck those toes under, and we'll walk our feet to the center of your mat. Give yourself that hips distance. We find our peace fingers or slide those hands underneath your feet. So always appreciating these forward bends. We protect that lower back by bending those knees as much as we need to. Hinge from the hips. Let those thoughts just pour out of your head. Where is the breath here in the body? Can you send it all the way to the belly? 2 more breaths. Take a final full inhale. Please let the hands go. Letting go of those toes. We'll spin those toes out. We'll find our way into a squat. So we'll do the 5 standings from our squat. So let those hips be heavy. Lift your heart. So we root through the feet. We rise and slowly bend those knees. Bring the prayer to your heart center. 4 more. Rooting to lifting. 3 more. So that deep squat, use those legs. We clear that air around us. 2 more. And 1 more. From that squat, we stand and just bring those hands to your heart center. Samastitihi. Pause and breathe here. Giving yourself hips distance with your feet. Let's take our hands alongside the body. And let's just take some slow head rolls here. Eyes can be soft or closed. Noticing if there's any sticky parts. Let's take 1 more revolution in this direction, and we'll change direction. I'm always amazed at the different sounds as I rotate my head.
A lot of crackling.
Lots of crackling. 2 more revolutions. The head rolls feel so good. 1 more revolution here. We'll stop with our head level, and just working our way down the body, opening up those shoulders a little more, up and over. Maybe 4 or 5 rolls in this direction, and then we'll change direction. You don't need to do complicated postures all the time. Now we interlace our fingers, just open up those wrists. Bill likes to get a little fancy back there. We'll show him fancy arm twists, and maybe change direction. We'll shake out those hands, and let's finally twist our spine. Twisting from our waist. We connect with our kidneys on our back body for 3, 2, and 1. Open up those hands, feel that prana, that life energy, sensations, tingling. Nice. We'll heel toe those feet together, and we'll find our figure 4.
Okay.
So let's first start by just lifting that right knee and take the left heel with the left hand. See if you can level off the shin parallel to the floor. You can use a wall or a banister, and we'll just bring that heel first up to our hip point. So we're going to modify this figure 4 first. So allowing that top of the knee to reach towards the floor, just stretching it out. Then we flex that right foot and just slide it down towards the thigh. So you have that 4. We'll bring our hands to our heart, find that balance, and then we'll take a slight bend in that left knee. Dropping those hips, opening up those collarbones. So taking your hands to the floor, maybe drop the head, looking good, ladies. Now we'll push that left foot into the earth, expand, and we'll just take that foot now into our tree. So just move that right foot in the inner left thigh. Find that connection. Press the right foot into the thigh. Press the thigh into the foot. You zip up that core. Bring your hands to your heart. Look straight ahead. And then inviting you to reach your prayer up. So you can split those hands. And we'll just drop that right hand now towards that right knee. And then bend over to the right. So the left hand, you can't see it, but it's right there. It's coming up and over, stretching out that side waist. Then you come back, bring that right hand high. We'll lower the left hand and just up and over. So if you fall out of the posture, you're playing your edge. Fantastic. So inviting you to not always color in the lines. Color out of the lines. Makes life a little more interesting. Beautiful. We'll bring our hands to our hearts. Lower that right leg to the floor. Maybe shake it out. And we'll come to the other side. So we'll do that slow figure 4 opening. So activating the core, we lift that left knee. And then the shin parallel. Use the right hand on that right heel. You can support that leg. And inviting that heel to the right hip point. And we just drop that left knee towards the floor. So feeling that opening on the left hip. And then from here, we just take that, a bend in that left foot and just draw the ankle down towards the knee. So we have that figure 4 again. You can stay right here, find that balance. That right foot is rooting you. Or maybe you slightly bend that right knee. Drop those hips. Looking good, ladies. Maybe drop that head down, Stace. Let that neck relax. And then we push into that foot. Ride that breath up. And just take that foot into the inner right thigh now for our traditional tree vriksasana. Hands to our heart center. Open up those collarbones, slide those shoulder blades down the back. That core is activated, we look straight ahead. If balance is a little challenging this morning, use a wall. So we invite our prayer high, expand those hands, shoulders distance apart, and just drop that left hand towards the left knee, right hand up and over. We fan those ribs. So we're challenging our balance here by bending over. So maybe you take that left hand up. So just mixing it up, that left hand high. Now the right hand comes down alongside the body, left hand up and over, and lean away from the knee. So again, it's just a practice. We're just challenging the body, finding openings. If you fall out, who cares, right? We come back, it's practice. So a big breath in. We melt forward. We find that halfway lift. With control, step or jump those feet back from high plank to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. Pause here. Maybe gaze over the right shoulder. Gaze over the opposite shoulder. Find our way into downward dog. And then we'll drop our knees to the earth. Cross those ankles. So we'll find our way to bridge. We'll do 3 bridges today. And we're going to go from a moving bridge to a more static bridge or into the full wheel. So start with our heels coming towards the fingertips. We turn our palms up towards the sky. Just allow those knees to fall in towards one another here. Allow the body to just let go. So take a deep breath in. Just sigh it out. Ah. So we transition onto our backs. We open up our knees, feet directly underneath our knees, push the feet in, lift from those hip points. And we'll lower those hips down. So we're gonna take the rolling bridge. So we lift our hip points, take the hands up overhead, and then we synchronize the hands hitting the floor when the back connects with the mat. So root through the feet, we lift, we breathe in, expand, squeeze the air out. 3 more. Inhale, sip all the way to the tops of your shoulders, and then we squeeze it out. 3, 2, 1. 2 more. Breathe in, face is soft, squeeze the breath out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one here. We expand, maybe lift those hips a little higher. Exhale it out. Allow those knees to kiss. Take your hands on your heart center. Lick your lips. Maybe shake out that head some. We'll open up our knees. This one we'll take a supported bridge. So same setup, backs of the hands to the floor, palms up towards the sky. We lift from our hip points, then just support your hands underneath those hips. Feet are hips distance. Chin towards your chest. You're looking straight up towards the sky. Now we'll take the heels off the floor and we pulse for 5. Warm up those calves. 4. Lift those hip points a little higher each time. 3. We open up the arches of the feet for 2. And this one, keep those heels lifted. And with control, unwind the spine. Nice work. We'll allow those knees to kiss. We'll take a hand on the belly, a hand over the heart. Again, maybe rock the head side to side. So one more bridge or full wheel. You can take the hands underneath your shoulders. I'm going to go easy today, finding one more bridge. So back of the hands to the floor, sides of the feet are parallel. Use the feet, lift from those hip points, walk those shoulders underneath. Maybe you interlace those hands, look straight up towards the sky. So root through the feet, feel those hip points lift a little higher. Use the traction of the hands. Feel that beautiful bow in the body. You still can breathe normally, in and out through the nose. We take one more breath here. We slowly unwind that spine. So nice. And then we open up those knees, take the soles of the feet together, both hands on the belly here. Lick your lips. Feel the breath underneath the hands. That expansion with each inhalation. The release on the exhalation. Relax the face. So we'll take our hands outside those knees, squeeze those knees together. Let's rock backwards and forwards. There's one of the cats. We'll cross our ankles, hands to the floor. We'll just step back into a downward dog, shake out that head, and that right leg lifts into our pigeon. Woo. So right knee towards that right thumb. Extend that left leg, untuck the toes. So square those hips. Maybe give the hip a little lift from a book or a brick. We'll walk those hands in front of us. So 5 breaths here. So whenever I come into these hip openers, I notice the correlation with my jaw. My jaw clenches. We store our emotions in our hips and in our jaw. So just wiggle that jaw back and forth. And how can you soften in this posture? So if you bring that heel in closer to the body, that takes a little pressure off those hips. Let's take 2 more breaths here. We'll take a final full inhale. Let that go. We lift our heart, walk our hands back towards the center of the body, and maybe bend that left knee. You can take the hand behind, reach for the toes, reach the heel in. Nice, we'll release that leg, step that right leg back. You can meet into a downward dog or cycle through a vinyasa. Eye gaze at the back of the mat. So the other side, the left leg lifts. We find that pigeon left knee towards the left thumb, right leg extends behind us. Untuck the toes and just walk those hands forward. Surrender. Letting go. Nice, 2 more breaths. The final full inhale. Exhale completely. We lift our hearts, walk those hands back towards the center. So stay here, or see if you can take a bend in the leg. Maybe you don't reach for it, or find the toes. We're always finding openings in the body. So you do what you can. You showed up this morning. With control, release that leg. We'll take weight into that left hip, and we'll bend the legs and take them in front of you. So the left leg is going to extend. We'll find that right heel in the elbow bend, and notice if you're rounding. So we find that tall spine. Maybe you use that brick to give yourself a little lift. So we're just opening up that hip again. We'll take this in stages. So stay right here. We're taking that right shoulder underneath the knee. Maybe taking it towards the back of the head. So we still are hanging onto that knee. So take the right foot outside the left knee to find that tall spine. The left hand up towards the sky. We bend that elbow outside the right knee as we twist over that shoulder. So flex the left foot, we breathe in, and we twist. Inhale, lift. Twist over that right shoulder. Beautiful, 1 more breath here. And we twist. We come back to center, and we'll take that foot into that tree position. So both sits bones root, we extend, navel up and towards that left thigh as we float forward. So reach those hands forward, maybe find the calf. Slow down that breath. So notice the openings maybe on the lower back. Shoulders are hunched up. We want to pull them in the opposite direction from your ears. So noticing where the body is stressed, see if you can relax, send the breath to those areas. When the body is relaxed, that's where the opening, where the releasing, those emotional holdings can let go. 1 more breath here. Complete that exhale. Inhale, we lift our heart and just stretch out that right leg. We'll shake it out. So we remove that extra flesh again. We bend that left knee. Take that heel in that right elbow crease now. So again, we don't lean back. Engage that core. Lift those hips if needed. And we just open up that hip joint. So stay right here. Or see if you can slide that shoulder underneath your knee. Maybe you can extend that leg up. So now we'll take that bent knee again, that left foot outside the right knee. So that leg, that lower leg, that right leg can be extended. You can always bend that in too. So the right hand lifts. We take that elbow outside the knee. They spread the fingers wide. We lift our hearts. And we twist over that left shoulder. This leverage of my elbow against the knee gives me a little more lift and twisting. 2 more, flex the right foot, we breathe in, and we twist. Gorgeous, last one, inhale, and we twist. You come back to center, take that left foot now into the inner right thigh, press the thigh and foot against one another. We extend and take the belly button towards that right thigh as you expand. So you're extending, protect by bending that knee as much as you need to, and then just let go. Relax the face, notice where the shoulders are. Can you draw them away from your ears? Maybe you feel that light tugging on the lower back. Enjoying the stretching, the openings. Nice, 2 more breaths here. We'll take a final full inhale. Let it go. Inhale, lift the heart. Now we extend that left leg for our forward fold. A big breath in. Slight bend in the knees into our Paschimottanasana. So reaching for the ankles or the heels. Bend those knees as much as you need to. And we'll just gently lift up into a tall spine. So we did this yesterday, our last class. We're going to take that swimming motion. So start with the left hand on the left foot. You'll take the left arm up towards the right toes. You draw it alongside the right leg. Then the right hand comes up towards the left toes. So we're just opening, alternating the fingers towards the opposite toes, that swimming action, just opening up that body a little more. So we'll take 2 swimming motions on each side. Beautiful, 1 more on the right hand towards the left toes. Beautiful, last one, left hand towards the right toes, and then take that forward fold 1 more time. The forehead towards our toes, we flex our feet, shake out that head. We carefully unwind that spine, roll onto our backs, bend those knees into your chest. As we cactus those hands out to the side, first take the knees to the right. And after a breath or 2, maybe take your gaze over that opposite shoulder. How can you soften in this posture? I feel my feet gripping, so I want to relax them. Energetically, I squeeze those knees together. That gives me that core connection. So see if you can keep that core connection as you hug those knees back to center. Nice, and then drop them in the opposite direction. With control, allow the body to soften, and maybe take your gaze over the opposite shoulder. Face is soft. Enjoying that breath. Nice, we'll squeeze those knees back to center. And extend those legs up towards the sky. We're gonna take 1 minute, not yet, 1 minute as an inversion. So the legs are lifted. You can always take them against a wall. You can support underneath your hips with your hands. So just relax your face. We have 1 minute here. These inversions are anti-aging, reversing the flow. Good thing to do with the kids if you're watching TV. Just put the legs up the wall for 5-10 minutes. Gravity's working against us the whole day. So whatever you can do to just reverse the flow. So good, so healthy, rejuvenating. So last 30 seconds here. Take a body scan. Enjoy the breath. Final 3 breaths here. Last full inhale. Let it go. You can take one or both feet to the floor, extend the feet to the mat. We'll take up a lot of space. As you settle into Shavasana, you can keep those legs up. So we'll have our musician. Find that next incoming breath. Let it go. Inhale, stretch the arms up overhead. Reaching out through the fingers and the toes as we hug those knees one last time into our chest. And dropping those knees to either side of the mat. We curl up into that beautiful ball of light. Pause and breathe. As you find your way to a comfortable seated position, eyes soft or closed, finding those sits bones, inviting you to bring your hands to your heart center, acknowledging this gift, this practice to connect with your breath, to open up the body, to be more grounded and just to let go. So let's seal class with one beautiful sound of Om. Sit in the inhale. The light within me honors and recognizes the light within all of you. Thank you for sharing your practice this morning. Make it a great day. Namaste. Thank you.